Welcome back to another explainer. If you hit play on this, you're probably looking to figure out how to generate some genuine, realistic extra income. Well, our goal today is to completely demystify this topic. We're taking the best market strategies and breaking them down into clear, accessible language, with absolutely zero of that complicated financial jargon that just, exists to confuse us. Let's dive right in.
To kick things off, let me throw a question out there. What if your next stream of income is literally sitting right inside your house? Often, we're led to believe that making extra cash requires these crazy overnight get-rich-quick schemes, but honestly, the truth couldn't be more different. You probably already have all the tools and assets you need to take that very first step today.
Let me tell you a quick story about someone who started from absolute zero. Picture your average office worker, spending all day wrangling digital folders and spreadsheets. Well, one weekend, they decided to offer that exact same skill as a simple online service, basically organizing messy Google Drives for small business owners. And guess what? Their very first client brought in $50, just like that. By delivering quality work, what started as a weekend cleanup gig quickly blossomed into a super reliable monthly income stream.
Our source materials highlight a brilliant example of this, the virtual assistant role. By trading just a few free hours and using an organizational skill they already mastered at their day job, this person completely bypassed the need to have, thousands of internet followers or a living room packed with inventory.
So, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the ideal starting point, move into selling your current skills, see how to rent out what's sitting idle, and finally, we'll look at unlocking the infinite scale of tiny digital products.
All right, part one, sell your current skills. Basically freelance what you already know.
Starting as a freelancer like this is, statistically speaking, the absolute fastest route to extra cash. Why? Because you don't have to learn something totally new from scratch. You're selling a skill you've already polished at your day job. The big hurdle here is that people brutally underestimate what they can actually do. Think about everyday administrative work, filtering email inboxes, writing, formatting documents, or just knowing your way around a specific software. Small business owners everywhere are constantly overwhelmed, and they will gladly pay with a huge smile on their face to have you take those bureaucratic tasks off their plate.
So, where do you actually find these people? International platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Contra are absolutely packed with clients looking for quick help. And hey, don't sleep on your own LinkedIn or local networks either. The crucial takeaway here is do not freeze up thinking you need some massive, flawless portfolio. Just define one tiny, specific service, package it clearly, and put it out there.
Now, if your excuse is a lack of time, the data shows something pretty eye-opening. Dedicating just 3 to 5 hours a week, which is basically a Saturday morning or a couple of free evenings, is more than enough. That small effort, when done consistently, can generate an extra $200 to $400 a month in your account. It's a modest amount, sure, but it is highly transformative over the long haul.
Let's move forward and see how this builds. In that first tip, we were in the classic world of active income, where you're actively trading your hours for money. Now let's contrast that with an approach we'll call passive-ish income, where the focus shifts to unlocking the financial value of things you already own.
Section 2. Rent out what's sitting idle. It's all about unlocking dormant value.
The logic here is to stop ignoring idle objects and spaces. Let's let the dormant value of things just gathering dust around your house finally rise to the surface. The variety of what you can actually rent out is kind of wild. A spare room, your driveway during the day, that powerful chainsaw, high-quality cameras, or even your car that just sits there on the weekends. Secure platforms like Just Park, Neighbor, or Fat Llama connect you with reliable renters and usually cover the whole transaction with solid insurance.
What's really fascinating in our sources is the absolute genius of the commuter driveway example. If you live near a train station or a busy workplace, renting out your empty driveway for just, say, £6 a day makes money appear almost automatically. You're literally earning while you drink your morning coffee in the kitchen. It's brilliant.
To keep things super realistic, though, we need to talk about your time investment here. You're going to spend a grand total of, wait for it, 20 to 30 minutes on the initial setup. The real work just comes down to writing an honest description and taking some clear photos of your space or gear. And after that, the process is genuinely low touch. The platforms do all the heavy lifting.
However, there is definitely a ceiling to renting physical assets, right? I mean, you're limited by the space you have and the geography of where you live. So let's contrast that physical limitation with our final model, a 100% digital model with zero shipping costs, zero inventory shelves, and an absolutely infinite potential to scale.
Part 3, create tiny digital products. Make it once, sell it forever.
It is absolutely fascinating to see how an innocent hobby or just a passion for organization can be cleverly transformed into a tiny yet profitable digital shop. Let's set expectations and make one thing crystal clear. We are not talking about writing a complex online course or some massive 300-page ebook. A tiny digital product is essentially a practical, downloadable file. It solves a quick, painful problem for the buyer, and best of all, you can create it in a single afternoon using free tools like Canva or Google Sheets.
So what actually works in practice? Weekly meal planners? Minimalist budget spreadsheets? Printable art for a nursery? People on the internet love buying these templates on places like Gumroad or Etsy because they offer instant structure and above all, they save them precious time.
Let's take a closer look at this specific account from our sources. The text details the exact workflow of someone with a natural knack for order. On one quiet Sunday, they created a simple 15-minute evening reset checklist. They just paired a clean design with a real problem people have.
And here's where the magic of scale kicks in. By selling this useful, neatly packaged file for just $5, the doors swing wide open. With sales happening on autopilot, a handful of products like this can consistently bring in an extra $100 to $300 a month, all without you ever having to open your wallet for paid ads.
Section 4. Your first step. Time to choose your path.
Our journey through this explainer has shown that real, viable paths do exist, far away from those sketchy internet traps. Now that all the cards are on the table, let's consolidate your options so you can make a pragmatic decision. With freelancing, you use your time and skills, and the ongoing effort is medium. With renting out assets, you use your idle space or gear with very low effort. And with digital products, you monetize your knowledge and interests, with effort becoming extremely low once the thing is actually created. The secret is to wisely pick the model that fits perfectly into your current routine. The most important thing? Just start.
To wrap up our time together today, I want to leave you with this really powerful question. Which of your dormant assets are you going to unlock today? We all have hidden wealth, whether it's specific knowledge in our heads, a useful tool in the garage, or just an empty spare room. Recognize the value of what you already have, take that first step, and see how unlocking those doors can transform your finances. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.